You have to be careful about making a weird show or watching a weird show.
Hello, this is Greg Smalley on Pod 366, a weird movies podcast. Joined today, as I often am, by the irreverent Giles Edwards.
Hi, everybody. Happy Halloween.
And it is Halloween, so I should have said by Giles Deadwards.
Oh,
And this is
oh.
Gre-gory, Smalley. I actually forgot that we were, this will be debuting on Halloween, so happy, or at least a scary Halloween to all of you out there. And this week we have a rather large slate of movies to go through. So due to that, we're not going to be able to devote much time to each of them, but fortunately they don't all require much time. You can see the movies there, Giles?
I see 10 images there, yes.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 image. Here's a Halloweeny movie for you.
All right, yes.
So would you describe this image for our viewers who can't see it?
Sure, we're in some sort of bathroom, possibly a public bathroom of some sort. There's tiles on the walls, well, it looks like a fairly large curved top mirror, and looking in this mirror is an older gentleman with close to shoulder length curly gray-white hair, prominent mustache, wearing a sort of a beaded bit of headgear with some plumage and costume jewelry adornments atop it. And this individual seems to be adjusting some prominent canine teeth of his. I know, maybe cleaning off little specks, making sure they're curved nicely. All very neck bitey looking in their capacities, though.
Yes, and there's also a little under the title. There's a little image,
Yeah, almost sort of in the form of like one of those Eastern Orthodox icon kind of things of a mustachioed, curly locked, black-haired fella. And there's some, I don't know, some sort of red fruit wreathy thing going around the periphery, yellow background, crimson sort of cloak top, and a similarly shaped bit of headgear with beading work and a plume in the center as well. So I'm guessing this fella, contemporary fella looking in the mirror, is emulating this possibly ancient figure as shown in this icon style little portrait below the title.
I guess he's ancient. He's medieval, at least. It's that is an image, of course, of Vlad Dracul, Vlad the Impaler, Dracula.
Yeah.
And the movie is Dracula, but this is a very different Dracula than you're used to, probably. It's Radu Jude's Dracula. If you know Radu Jude, he is a Romanian, I guess, mainly a satirical filmmaker, I would say.
Yeah.
And we don't know much about this. We have seen the trailer, or at least I have seen the trailer, and it's going to be embedded on our blog post. And it is fairly wild. From what I can gather, it's a bunch of short films which end up running for 2.5 hours. So it's quite a long bit of short films, all different versions of Dracula. And the premise seems to be it's about a filmmaker who can't decide what movie about Dracula he wants to make and turns to AI to help him with his choices. And so there is some AI in the film which is used satirically and satirizing the very idea of using AI in a film in a meta twist. And I know Jude has said that this film is his tribute to Ed Wood. So,
well, it certainly seemed like it could be from the trailer, which I also enjoyed.
The trailer is pretty wild. So Giles, do you know anything else about this film other than what I've said,
No,
or have any
no.
thoughts or comments?
And it looks pleasantly all over the place with strong undercurrents of silly humor going on and various contemporary satirizations, including the AI and the whole social media thing. So I'm guessing that it'll have at least the benefit that if any given segment isn't so great, one will rapidly be moving on to a very different one.
Hmm. There is one of them is kind of set in the future with a Dracula and a robot. So,
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was curious. Yes, the sort of disco glam C3PO
yeah,
entity there.
with something in his, some kind of uh, video monitor in his chest, which was scrambled. I don't know if that's so you wouldn't see something naughty. Apparently, the
Mm.
film is very has a lot of bad taste material, which will excite our viewers. So that's Dracula. It's in theaters, very limited, being a foreign film. Expected to show up on streaming fairly soon afterwards. Here's another one with a very strange distribution going on here. Giles, describe this still, if you would.
Sure. This is commercial building exterior. I believe we're staring down the length of a crosswalk. And heading right at us is a fellow, I'm going to guess, in his 30s with a short beard or long stubble, depending upon how you want to look at it. Rather casually dressed in a puffy-ish maroon coat over a loose gray sort of fleece-looking thing. Black sweatpants, possibly just baggy pants otherwise, and they are running away from the thing behind them. Might be a number of things. There's one fellow in the modest distance from our center character here in a sort of generic security guard style suit with white shirt and tie thing going on that seems to be in pursuit of this guy, although he may also be running from something else. So rather kinetic, but not terribly clear what's going on.
But you do know what the movie is.
I, um, yes, let's see. I'm gonna guess, I'm gonna say not off the top of my head.
Giles, it's a
Um,
movie you've reviewed.
oh dear. Oh, that movie. Yes, it's about, oh, is that Steve there? Shoot, I can't remember his name. Yeah, oh,
It
is this
is
from
Stephen
two?
Castang was the director.
Yeah, two Fantasias ago, right?
And it's called, I'm going to save you the trouble. It's called
Thank you.
Vincent Must Die.
Vincent Must Die. Okay, it's been a while since I've stared down Vincent. Yes. He is being pursued not just by that guy in the tie, but everyone else behind him and ultimately most people we see in the movie.
Everyone in the world, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, so this is a strange one. I don't know. This is apparently one night only, as far as I can find. Halloween night, which is tonight. It's a double feature at AMC Theaters, a horror double feature of new horror movies. One being Hallow Road, starring Rosamund Pike and Matthew Rhys, and the other being this, Vincent Must Die, which has never been released in American theaters before. And I don't know if this means it's going to be followed by a wider limited release or if this is going to be your only chance to see it. But if you're watching this early enough to get tickets, it might be your only chance. Now, I would
Mhm.
presume it now that they finally let this loose that it will, if it doesn't go back to theaters, they'll at least put it on streaming fairly
Yeah.
quickly. What
Yeah,
can
it
you
was.
tell us about Vincent Must Die?
Oh yeah, now that I remember, yeah. Well, I guess in my defense, Vincent's a pretty generic guy. He's a mid-level sort of office functionary type of person, and for no particular reason, first his coworkers, then neighbors, and then more and more people, whenever they see him, are filled with an urge to kill him. He has done nothing in particular to deserve this fate. I remarked on my festival review, it's like a combination of Dupieux, Godard, and Romero,
Mm.
with absurdism, social commentary, and the broader zombie-esque violence things going on here. So definitely a great movie to catch on Halloween night.
Okay, well, there it is. It's in a double feature, and no idea if that will be your only chance to catch it in theaters or not. But if you're interested, if you're really interested, you better buy those tickets right away. So that does it with movies that are in theaters. Now let's go to our 6 physical media entries, starting with, we have a pair of canonically weird movies, and we're going to start with this one releasing this week on 4K.
Yes, this is a 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray cover.
Mhm.
Mostly white, but there is I guess at this point, I'll describe it as iconic because I'd immediately recognize that even without the title below it, of a pale white gentleman, hairy chest. We just sort of see his chest. We don't even see the nipples. We just sort of see the center bit, and centered along this sternum shot are a couple of dog tags and a medal, a military medal of some variety or another. And this is the chest of one of the more famous soldiers from fictional World War II doings.
Yes, and this is Alan Arkin's chest, I think.
Yep, as Yossarian.
And if it's not, as Yossarian in Catch 22, now out on 4K Ultra UHD and Blu-ray from Shout Select. It had previously been on Blu-ray. I'm pretty
Yeah.
certain. I've lost my tab that had that information on it.
I own it on Blu-ray, so I
Okay.
can say it exists.
Okay. Let me see. I was going to go over what's in this disc, and like I
Oh,
say,
I've got
lost
that
my tab.
tab. It's 4K restoration from the original camera negative, rock and roll, theatrical trailer, photo gallery, audio commentary with director Mike Nichols and filmmaker Steven Soderbergh, and audio commentary with film critic Drew McWeeny.
Now, the Nichols and Soderbergh commentary is a repeat. The
Mm.
McWeeny commentary, I believe, is new for this edition.
Mhm.
And that's it for extra features. Of course, this is the absurdist adaptation of an absurdist novel, Joseph Hiller's Catch 22. Fantastic, one of the great classics of 20th century literature.
Mhm.
And when it came out, I think people weren't too happy with it because it's obviously going to be hard to do justice to a classic novel of that stature. But
Mhm.
I really liked it when it first came out. And I think people's opinion of the movie has steadily grown since its release. Some people, it cannot catch exactly the tone of the novel, but it definitely catches the spirit. And there are new parts in it that aren't in the novel that were written by Buck Henry, the screenplay adaptation written by Buck Henry. And when Joseph Heller saw the little speech he wrote for John Voight's character, he said, "Boy, I wish I'd written that for the novel." So Joseph Heller was a fan. So yes, I think it does the novel quite a bit of justice, even though it doesn't completely follow it faithfully.
Yeah, and the cast lineup is such a
Oh,
great encapsulation of fading megastars and up and coming megastars all together in 1970 on screen.
yeah, you had Orson Welles and Bob Newhart, John Voight, and I think
Anthony Perkins, Art Garfunkel,
yeah,
well, less so in the movie, but Martin Sheen, Bob Balaban. Yeah, it's a cool movie.
Charles Grodin was in there.
Yeah.
Is excellent, and John Voight's character is really chilling. And so that's a very highly recommended absurdist movie that is, yes, indeed, weird, even canonically weird.
Yeah, so weird that even I felt compelled to add a bit of my own review to your actual certified review because I had things to say.
Ah. Here's another canonically weird movie that's even weirder than
Mm.
Catch 22, which is
And
more accessible. Describe this poster, I guess.
yeah, I guess this poster here could be formatted a little better. Part of the title is cut off on the main image, but that's all right. Dominant magenta band on the left side with a whole bunch of the copyright talent involved verbiage. Let's see. As for the image itself, we have young fellow, wavy, brunette blonde hair staring blankly ahead of him, his nondescript dress from what little we can see. And that expression has got to be one of the least expressive expressions I've ever seen. He is below a stylized text title and in front of, oh, I don't know, a sort of glossy, almost not quite stained glass, but more like a weird glitter dew of geometric shapes with rich tones of sparkly blue and purple with touches of green. And above this screen or whatever is a set of very intensely staring eyes looking right at the viewer of this image. We don't see much. I'm guessing it's a woman's eyes, judging from the eyelashes in question. And this is arced by a stone metallic wheel that is divided into, I'm going to guess, different arcane symbols.
I think they're probably signs of the zodiac.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Fish there and a bull, so and a crab, which doesn't really fit the theme of the movie that well, but maybe it's a red herring.
Mm.
Pisces the red herring. So this is Malpertuis, also known as the Legend of Doom House. And Giles, have you seen Malpertuis?
I haven't though, but I do know there's the Orson Welles crossover here. He
Another Orson
appears
Welles. All right.
appears in this as well as the thing we were talking about. And I guess for anyone wondering what to name a kid, the fact that this is cut off here, we now see Alpertwee, which would be a very distinct name for someone.
Sure. So, the this is from Radiance. It's on Blu-ray only. It is the world Blu-ray premiere, and we get pretty much what we need to know about this release from the cover text here. The plot summary: Jan, a sailor on leave, is knocked out during a rowdy bar fight. He wakes up in Malpertuis, a Gothic mansion presided over by his dying uncle, Casavius, Orson Welles. With a vast fortune up for grabs, Casavius sets a deadly condition for inheritance. Packed with ideas, Harry Kumel's Phantasmagoria features stunning photography by Jerry Fisher and a score by Georges Delroux. And this is a 4K restoration, contains interviews with Harry Kumel, one of which I believe is new, some are archival, documentary on the making of the film, interview with horror expert Jonathan Rigby, featurettes about Orson Welles and Susan Hampshire, who plays somewhere between 3 and 5 roles in the film, and a short film, audio commentary, which I believe was ported over from the DVD, and limited edition booklets. This says it's limited to 3,000 copies. Imagine they'll probably sell out of that. Not immediately, but this movie is extremely strange. The concept, I think, kind of gets away from Harry Kumel, and he just does all sorts of weird things. There is a story there. It's from a novel. There is a story there, but it really kind of goes off the rails into weirdness with this guy, the star who Giles spoke of him having no expression. He really can't act. He's not a professional actor, but he's wandering through this mansion with all these rooms, with these strange characters, his distant family relations who he's never met, who all have this connection to other characters that you might figure out as you go through the movie. Um, Not entirely successful, but very weird and very interesting and very atmospheric. Any final comments, Giles?
Oh, I guess maybe kind of a question like the what the title actually means literally. Obviously, mal is, bad. Trying to see what pertuis might be, and in French, it's okay, bad. Okay,
Bad for
so
you.
you say he wanders around different passages and this, that, and the other. A pertuis is a type of passage, so
Oh, I thought it was maybe
uh,
bad per tu for you. Bad for you. Anyway, let's move on to the next one if you have no further comments. Here we have a large spread for you.
yes, this is steelbooky looking, and we see the exterior covers and the interiors. There are two discs to this thing. On the front of the exterior, we see a pale young man with a great shock of black wavy hair blending in with the black background, and in front are four blade-like items that are reflecting various things, like an old creepy house, a young woman. I think I see a dinosaur-esque figure in the bottom right. Can't quite make out the fourth one. But yes, this is a troubled looking, pale young man with black hair. And on the back cover, we see a young woman looking through some cracked, broken paned window that has, shall we say, an uneven bit of support for the panes when they were even there. Um, a sort of shaky black line thing going on, suggesting an irregularity in presentation, something stylized and gothic, I might say. And inside is a painting drawing kind of thing of the boy on the front, young man on the front, coming down a set of very stylized stairs with cobwebs and sun streaking through tall curtained windows. And the hair is even more shocking in this, and is dressed up not dissimilarly from a character in Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. And lad seems to be contemplating some long blades that are coming from his hand.
Yeah, and that should give you a hint as to the title of the movie. The long blades coming from his hand are like scissors.
Yes.
Maybe he's Scissored Hands, and the
Ah.
first name, and it's Edward Scissorhands. And so here it is in a 4K release. Probably a movie lots of people are familiar with. It is technically a Apocrypha candidate because the original reviewer nominated it. So it is a movie with very much a fairy tale structure and some oddness to it, and a movie that I personally really like. As far as a weird movie, it's kind of introductory level, right? It's
Mm.
maybe you watch this and you really like the vibe and you want to go find something that's just a little bit weirder to
Yeah.
watch. Of course, starring Johnny Depp in his period when he was taking on the quirkiest roles he could. Between this and all the way to Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, he
Mm.
had so many weird roles in the 90s. He was in Dead Man, also starring Winona Ryder. And yeah,
Yeah.
Giles, thoughts?
Oh, well, just looking at the special features, obviously, it's good to hear from commentary by director Tim Burton, who probably would provide interested viewers and leads as to why he did this, that, and the other, where he got inspired. And I like the fact that there's a commentary by composer Danny Elfman, not just because he's a fascinating guy, but I always think it's interesting when, shall we say, the less obvious people talk to you about the entire, talk you through the entire movie from an angle that isn't normally or isn't often approached in the world of commentary. So,
Yep, never, I don't think I've ever seen a composer commentary before. That would be a first. No idea if those are new or are more likely they're included from previous editions, but I do not know. So that's Edward Scissorhands on 4K Steelbook, isn't it? 4K Steelbook.
that's what I'm seeing here. Yeah.
Well, here's another 4K steelbook.
Hmm.
Describe this cover.
All right, we got a stylized, I don't know, old Western comic kind of look here with a purple sky cut by different horizontal lines of pink and deeper purple. There's a cloud toward the horizon, which is very low on this image here, and a mountainy thing off to the left. And what do we see in the center traveling down the middle of the road but a windswept gentleman in a sort of Stetson cowboy hat and a big overcoat pacing toward that ambiguous horizon along a road that is purple asphalt.
Yeah. And there's a split kind of in his
Oh yeah, yeah, and the gaps in the back of the jacket it reveals on the underside a sort of minor cosmos there, so black with stars and a crescent moon as it's like as if it's tucked away. And actually, looking at the position, he's walking toward us, so that's even a bit more menacing. You can see some glowing red eyes, and he's stopped just as he's approaching the viewer.
Mm. So this is Dust Devil by Richard Stanley, a movie I haven't seen. I'm guessing you haven't seen,
I
Giles.
have not seen it. I saw the trailer.
It is from Richard Stanley, South African director, set in Namibia. It is a horror, allegedly, about this mysterious gentleman. It incorporates a lot of African mythology in it, which would be unfamiliar to most viewers and therefore weird in and of itself. From what I've heard of this movie, it is much stranger than that trailer made it look. It's
Mhm.
described as variously described as muddled and hallucinatory. I think the trailer is cut to make it look more like a regular horror movie.
And I guess it might be, yeah, because it seems that this edition that we have links for has the director's cut
Mm.
and the theatrical cut, which certainly could explain responses to it as being muddled if, producers get in there and do their nefarious things. Then again, maybe they clarified it. Who knows?
Yes. So it comes with a 4K UHD and a Blu-ray. Include is both those two cuts, new masters, a new audio commentary by Richard Stanley, who I guess people are forgiven for his Me Too transgressions of a few years ago. The Blu-ray contains pretty much the same stuff, but adds some storyboards, some images, a trailer, a couple trailers, and there is a interview with the composer, Simon Boswell, it looks like. A 30-minute interview. It says with contributions by composer Simon Boswell, so it's probably not entirely
No.
devoted to him. Maybe he actually scores the feature. I don't
Scores the inter-
featurette. I don't know. Um, but that's Dust Devil, about which we know very little. Do you have anything else to add, Giles?
Uh, nope, nothing on that one. Other than okay, looks different, and that's always a good thing as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, well, let's just move on to our next release. And again, we have a nice little spread for you here.
Yeah, this is a nice box set, and on the front of this box, you've got a oh, what kind of architecture is that? I'm gonna say classic Arabian. We've got some cupola things going on here, very or it could be Eastern Orthodox, I suppose. But regardless, it's very red tone with black and lots of squid tentacle things coming out of it and a big ominous open book. And then inside we have a slightly different view of what I'm guessing is the same holy structure in question with its tall spires and cupolas and some tentacles and an array of red and black rendered rogues of one variety or another, and looming behind the structure, which is looming itself, but there's this big pair of eyes on a fairly ill-defined face. We can see a booklet in front that has a drawing on it that looks a lot like Mike Mignola of the original Hellboy comic style. I know he didn't invent that, but that's the context I know it. And I'm gonna, I don't know, maybe some lobby cards or something of done in a sort of monster pulp graphic style for like early, Weird Tales magazine of fella in a suit looking a bit dismayed. Over his right shoulder is, oh, that holy building of some sort, and a small monster. And over his left shoulder, he's eyeing rather distressedly, is a very large, eldritch looking creature with massive teeth and an unhappy expression on its face.
Yeah, well, if you're getting, Lovecraft vibes from this,
Hmm.
it's not actually adapted from Lovecraft, but it does have very heavy Lovecraft feel to it, and even the title,
Hmm.
In the Mouth of Madness, suggests Lovecraft.
It sure do.
It's John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness from 1994 with Sam Neill um, and Charlton Heston in a small role.
Huh.
The plot is an insurance investigator investigates the disappearance of a best-selling horror novelist whose books have the power to drive men mad. So there's your more Lovecraft uh, to it. I watched it years ago. Didn't make a huge impression. I recall it being, it kept my interest at the time. I recall relatively nothing about it, however, except for, the kind of general Lovecraft feel. I don't think it went quite as far as it could on that. But this edition is let's see, it's from Arrow. It is 4K UHD. Is there a Blu-ray also? I'm not sure. Can you tell from the image?
I'm trying to read through here.
Definitely 4K. I only see
Yeah.
one disc, so
Uh,
I'm
yeah,
guessing
I guess
it's 4K.
yeah, it looks like as far as the blurb indicates, this is one super disc.
Yeah. Um, has a bunch of archival features, including the original audio commentary for the DVD with Carpenter and his producer, and that second commentary with Carpenter and his cinematographer. There is a brand new commentary by the co-host of Colors of the Dark podcast,
Yeah.
Rebecca McKendry and Elric Kane. There's a new interview with the producer, Sandy King Carpenter, a new interview with Jürgen Prochnow. I guess that's how you pronounce it, who's in the film.
Jürgen Prochnow?
Yeah, and some more archival interviews. There are just a ton of little features and interviews for people who are devoted fans of this film.
Yeah, I guess give a shout out to the artist providing apparently the artwork for this delightful thing, Francesco Francavilla, does some really good work. This thing looks really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty packed even for an Arrow by Arrow standards. So. Okay, that's In the Mouth of Madness for John Carpenter fans. And we have about 6 minutes to get through the next three. Fortunately, they're more minor entries. Here's one I have a still from Giles.
Dilapidated interior, possibly an apartment. What paint there is hasn't been chipped to brick, and underlying plaster is sort of blue, skyey tones. Some doorways doing some framing, a crummy chair in which is seated a middle-aged woman in a short sleeve, white collared shirt and a rather blue skirt. And she, I believe, is paying attention to a fella not far across from her, a heavy set gentleman in a blue button-down shirt with let's see, cargo shorts and sneakers. He's standing by a bag. There's a black thing on the floor nearby. It could be one of those weird special, portable speaker things that, maybe the kids have. And he seems to have, I think, I don't know what the positioning is. There seems to be a glowing neon circle placed above the gentleman's head. And I'm
Yes.
not sure if it's suspended from somewhere in the room or if it's just an accessory that he has contrived to have float about him. But I'm
Yeah.
sure it helps him read from that booklet or a notebook of some sort as he stands facing the seated woman in this really run-down room.
It is what the kids call a halo.
Hmm.
So this is it's called Chronicles of a Wandering Saint. It's a dramatic movie. It is a magical realist movie from South America. I'm thinking Argentina. It's about a woman who is very performative in her piety and is obsessed with this statue of a saint and recovering it when it mysteriously goes missing. And then there's a twist in the middle. It is a movie that is recommended for people who like South American magical realism. There's a twist in the middle, and it's quite well done. But we need to move on because we are running low on time. So let's get to this one and describe this cover.
All right, this is Japanese animation. There's kind of all kinds of Japanese hair going on and superhero-y and super evil things. There's some blades. There's a not quite clad woman with blue hair who looks like she's being secured to a table we can't see. Hovering in the background in harsh neon bladed lighting is a six-pointed star. Main character has the sort of post facto, I don't know, cat whisker-esque things and some pointed ears, so he's possibly not quite human, and certainly seems to possibly be falling down from a very tall building toward the viewer here. And in the center is a dark cloak clad figure, golden collar, and an updo that I just barely remember from the original or the earlier installment of this particular chronicle here. So all very hovering between, violence and X-rated nudity to perhaps help give the game away.
Pronounce the title first, Giles.
Urotsukidohi is my best guess.
Sequels of the Overfiend, Collection 2, movies 2 to 4, and OVA series 2 to 5. No idea what this covers. Giles is more familiar with this series than I am. I think these are later installments that start after the ones you reviewed.
Yeah, that's the impression I got from the little plot blurb.
There may be some overlap, but I
Yeah.
don't know actually. But really dedicated Overfiend fans will know what they're getting here.
Yeah.
And so, since we're so close to being out of time, we have just about a minute for this one, which isn't that important of a release. I'm just going to mention that it is now on physical media, was previously in theaters and on VOD. But Giles, you can go ahead and describe this image in like 30 seconds for people.
All right. This is a middle-aged fella, mustache, little goatee thing, tousled hair, look of concern, lots of green lighting, and positioned above his eyes in the non-traditional, or at least he's taking it off. There's a domino-style mask. So, yes, green tone, middle-aged guy, look of distress. I mean, that might be enough hints for some.
Yeah, it's Peter Dinklage. How's
Hey.
that? So it is the Toxic Avenger 2023 sequel, which, as I said, is now on Blu-ray, has been available on VOD for quite a while. So probably most people who wanted to see it saw it that way. But if you really liked it, you can get that Blu-ray as well. And so we've covered 10 movies really quickly, and we are running out of time. So what would you like to tell them to do, Giles?
I would like to tell everyone to like, subscribe, watch every YouTube video through.
Weird. Yeah, I guess that is the word for it. Weird.